will soon be sharing his own experience on how he found his own aha moment and then plotted a new route and charted a new flight and into the new normal and is today thriving. Our speaker today is a trained engineer and an adventurer at heart. He's also an avid outdoor enthusiast, having been the president of the Singapore Adventurers Club for more than 10 years. This evening, he will be sharing how he was bitten by the entrepreneur bug and is now building a multinational team of amazing partners to take on the world and be a force to be reckoned with for doing good despite these trying times. So without further ado, let us join PD Kid on this 2-hour chartered flight. So please fasten your seatbelt and enjoy the flight. I give you PD Kid.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, okay, while we are fastening the seat belts, everybody, okay, let's enjoy a little in-flight video that will be coming on in a short while. Okay, shall we have the pilot play the in-flight video? Take it away. Well, good evening, one and all. Welcome to the my talk tonight called "Thriving in the New Normal." Give me a moment. Just let me pull up a quick slide, and then we'll get going on that. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Okay, I think for some of you who kind of know me, would kind of know that I love to hear stories. Okay, and I also love to tell stories, especially when it's a good one. And surely there's this one story that, I think every one of us must hear during a times of great change like today. Okay. Now, isn't that a beautiful bridge? Okay. Now, there's a name for that bridge. Okay. It is actually called Choluteca Bridge. Well, built in the city of Choluteca, that's what the bridge was named after. And that city itself is in the country of Honduras, which is in South America. Now, this area was really well known for its extreme bad weather. Okay, so what the government did was it actually engaged a very famous Japanese architecture firm, to build the bridge. Now, this company itself was really well known. Okay, well known for building the toughest bridge that survives even the wildest of hurricane. Now, in 1998, okay, that year, a very big hurricane named Hurricane Mitch actually hit the country of Honduras, and especially around this city. Many bridges, roads, and buildings were destroyed. However, Choluteca Bridge remained standing. Well, a true testament to the wonderful Japanese engineering. However, there was just one problem. While the bridge stood firm, the roads on both sides of the bridge had completely vanished. What happened was Choluteca River had literally just carved its way around the bridge. So what happened was that, what had seemed like a state-of-the-art construction could not adapt to the new environment that has just happened, and the bridge very quickly became useless. Well, overnight, the best-in-class bridge just became completely of zero value. In fact, it is actually now called the bridge to nowhere. So what's the whole moral behind the story? Change. Now, change is something that is really unpredictable. And the thing is, and if you don't embrace and adapt to change, you too can become obsolete very quickly. You too, like this bridge, can very quickly become of zero value. Now, my question, ladies and gentlemen here, are you all well prepared for change? Or are we all well prepared for change? Now, believe me, we are all smack right in the middle of a hurricane named COVID-19. Now, the global business landscape had changed rapidly, and a whole new normal is really unfolding. So I would say, do not become a bridge to nowhere. Now, let me introduce myself. Now, for those who don't know me or meeting me for the first time, my name is hoeekid. Most people just call me Kid, right? Now, I too had my own Choluteca moment. Now, this must be like sometime 14 years ago. I still remember it was the year 2007. Now, for those who are young enough to remember what happened during that year, right? That year was the world financial crisis. And that was a year I truly learned a lesson that I will never, ever forget. You see, I was a typical product of our education system. And what was that, right? Study hard, get very good grades, get a good job. In fact, you could get a government job, right? That was the mantra back then. Work very hard, you get promoted, and hey, you work all the way till you retire. Now, how many of you feel that that is the right path? Now, if you agree to that, that should be the path even as of now, you can just type 1 in the chat box. And if you feel that maybe that mode of thinking is a little bit outdated or not very relevant, just type a 2 in the chat box. Come, let's have some, interaction. Okay, one, if you think that that's the way to go, study hard, get good grades, get a good job, work hard, or you think that, hey, I think in this type of environment, that type of thinking do not exist anymore. Just put a number 2 there. Okay, now I'll take a quick look at the chat box to see how many of us are of that mode of thinking. Oh, great. I see some of you have started putting the remarks in now. Interestingly enough, my mentality back then was, yeah, as long as I work hard and the company was doing fine, everything will be fine. Well, 2007 certainly proved me wrong. What I learned that year is when change comes, it does not really care whether the company that you work for is doing well or not. In fact, it does not even care how talented or how experienced or how skilled you are. So, just like a typhoon coming in, it will just flatten everything that is not fitting to the new environment that it has just created. Now, I was lucky to have survived the typhoon with my job still intact. Now, many of my friends and colleagues did not. Now, not because they were not capable, but simply because they do not fit into the new environment. Now, although I was lucky to keep my job, I learned a very deep lesson that year. That when change comes, it just comes suddenly. No one is invulnerable. Yeah, you may think that you are very skillful, very experienced, or even indispensable, right? How many of us feel that way, right, in our job right now? But I tell you, the hurricane named COVID-19 can make you irrelevant overnight, just like that. Now, I knew back then that I had to prepare myself, right? I might survive that typhoon. So what I did then was I really started reading a lot of self-help books. Now, I attended many business courses. In fact, and what was interesting was, among all of them, I found a mentor in the form of this gentleman called Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. I'm sure many of you have heard of his name before, right? Robert is the author of the bestseller book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, from Robert, I actually picked up one very interesting concept. Okay, it was called the cash flow quadrant. Now, what I did was when I studied the cash flow quadrant, very quickly I realized that, wow, I was smack right in the middle of what we call the employee quadrant. Now, what do you do in the employee quadrant? I was simply exchanging time for money. Now, nothing wrong with that, but to be able to withstand any future hurricanes, I realized that I must find a way to very quickly move myself from an employee quadrant to what you call the business quadrant. Now, what the difference in the business quadrant? In the business quadrant, you would have a business system and people that you can leverage on to work for you. And not just for you, but together with you, right? I decided then that I must find a way to become a business owner. Now, that was very interesting because once I made up my mind, the law of attraction works in a very interesting way, right? Now, it was then that I reconnected with an old friend named Alvin. Now, somebody I've not seen for, I would say, about 27 years at that time. His name was Alvin Young. Now, I one day I actually saw Alvin post his social projects on Facebook. Now, it was a life-changing initiative that provided financial education to the children of poor farmers in Thailand. Now, I really fell in love with the idea at that time. I immediately supported his projects with donations. Now, Alvin was somebody whose lifestyle I've always aspired to live, right? I mean, he was doing good around the world. He traveled to third world countries, do many social projects, changing the world for the better, changing lives for the better. But I realized I was stuck in a job and I never had enough vacation days. Now, I was really, really curious as to how Alvin was able to earn his living while spending so many months every year doing such projects all over the world. So I decided to ask him out for dinner. and mine, it was certainly a life-changing evening for myself. During the evening, I learned from Alvin how he built an Asia-wide network enterprise. And it was this enterprise that provided him with the financial and time freedom. Well, that night was certainly the aha moment for me. I actually remember I go back, I couldn't sleep. The whole night, I actually saw the possibility for me to cross over to the business quadrant. And of course, that was how I first started my Avita journey with Alvin. And today, I am an Avita network leader. And what I do is I lead professionals to channel their wealth of corporate experience on an adventure of health and wellness. And I climb new summits with them. Now, before I will share further my story with you, now let me share another story that I came across 2 days ago in the Straits Times. Now, I was reading the Straits Times and it mentions that government policies must now manage the K-shaped recovery of the post-COVID-19 era. Now, I would say we are exactly past the post-COVID. Now, what is a K-shaped recovery? Now, a K-shaped recovery occurs when after a recession, different parts of the economy recover at different rates or even at times of magnitude. Now, you will realize by this time, many of you realize that there are businesses in the technology sector, the software, digital marketing, they have picked up very rapidly. In fact, during the COVID period, many of these businesses were thriving. While many industries like the travel industry, the entertainment industry, the hospitality industry, and those who are in the gig economy, from yoga teachers to instructor teachers and so forth, they are finding it very challenging to survive. And then if not for some of the government support scheme, many of these will find it very 2020 and 2021 to be very challenging. Now, I am sure that some of you are out there also feeling that way and may be open to looking at what other opportunities there may be out there. So if you are, well, type in the chat box if you feel that you are in the upper K, okay? Just type the word upper if you feel that you are in the upper K, or if you feel that, possibly not doing that, okay? No, maybe just type the word lower for lower K, okay? Are you in the upper K quadrant or are you in the lower K quadrant? Okay, I'll give you a couple of seconds to just type in the word upper and lower. Okay, now it's good time for you. Maybe you are somewhere in between both the K. Your industry is hanging on, not doing too well and maybe not doing too shabbily too. Okay, good. I see some of you have put different wording. Some of you are in the upper, some of you are in the lower. Now, if you are now in the upper K, all I can say is congratulations. You're on a good trend. Now, if you feel that you are in the lower K, I also say, do not despair. Maybe this is a sign for you to seek a new opportunity. Maybe an opportunity that will bring you to even greater heights. Okay. Now, so let me now share with you how I actually analyzed the Avita business opportunity when it first came around to my notice. Okay. So which side of the K are you on? Okay. Now, if you're looking for a business opportunity, now this is where, my engineering and corporate training and experience actually became really, really useful. It actually helped me to evaluate the Avita opportunity in a very systematic manner. Okay, so I will share with you three key areas that I actually look at, so that everybody can learn from the experience. Now, first is, of course, the product. Now, whether it's a product or it's a service. Okay, what I learned was that the product that you have must be a consumable. Now, why is that so? Because when it is a consumable, it helps to generate repeat business. And of course, the product itself, it must meet the need of many people. Of course, if it fits a whole growing trend across the whole globe, across the whole world, that is even better still. Now, of course, to have a product, whether it's a service, it must be effective. right? And if it's a product, I would want to stand by something that's of the highest quality and highest safety, right? That to me is paramount to doing anything, right? So that was how I kind of, analyze the product segment of the business. Now, after that, I will look at the business model itself. Now, to me, what was important is the business model must provide me with leverage. Now, the business must also, if possible, be able to scale up quickly, and best is, of course, this type of business is borderless, right? No borders means I can do the business across different countries. Now, in fact, when I was looking at it, I was actually thinking that, I really want to grow a business like an international franchise of McDonald's or maybe Jollibees, right? Of course, finally, having worked so many years in corporate, I know the importance of company and culture. I wanted to study the company's leadership. I wanted to know who are the people who will be working with me, mentoring me. In fact, more important, I want to understand the value system. Now, I realized that if I cannot identify with these values, right, then no matter how good the product or no matter how good the business model to me, right, I will not be able to progress together with you. So all these three areas are some of the elements that I was looking for when I was looking to build what I would say a sustainable and meaningful business. Now, I still remember my first meridian therapy workshop. Back at the dinner, I remembered that, Alvin back then was doing something related to meridians. So I asked him what it was, and he said, well, the best way for you to understand what it was really to attend the meridian therapy workshop. So voila, right? I found myself in a workshop. Now, during the workshop, I was amazed at how a 5,000-year-old TCM preventive care therapy can be designed to be so fun, so simple to learn, but yet so effective. That's when I realized the secret. It was the power of the Avita TCM herbal essential oils. Now, created by painstaking research by professors from the renowned Yangming Taiwan University, it was like bottling up qi in a bottle, making it very easy to use, but yet so powerful. In fact, I still remember the next day after the workshop, I was so excited to try out my new skills that I brought the oils that I had to a potluck party. And during the potluck party, I had a mixture of friends ranging from Malays, of course, Chinese, and so forth. And what I've discovered is that when I started doing shoulder gua sha for my friends, to my surprise, all my friends at the party, including my Malay friends, were delighted. They were all so amazed that, in fact, they all wanted to sign up to attend the workshops. Now, it was then that I smelled the potential of these TCM oils. Boom. That was really how my Avita business took off, starting with these TCM herbal oils. Now, with these oils, I just see a TCM blue ocean out there waiting for me to conquer. Now, after the workshop, I really aspired to have a team of my own, just like Elwin. I wanted to bring these meridian therapy skills and, more important, these TCM oils all over the world. Now, I'm proud to say today that my team has grown not just in Singapore, but from Singapore into countries like Malaysia, Australia, and Cambodia. And these oils are now helping many people in these countries to have good health. Now, at the same time, it is also helping many of my partners in these countries to build up a business for themselves and creating wealth and financial freedom. Now, I was even more excited when Elvin introduced me to the star product of Avita. Now, this is Selagen from Switzerland. Now, for many of you who don't realize it, I come from the aviation background, and being an aviation engineer, I've always been dealing with cutting-edge technology. Now, what I saw in Selagen when I was first introduced to it, I saw a world-class cellular regeneration Swiss technology. Now, a technology that's able to help people slow down their aging, a technology that can prevent degenerative disease. Now, I was thinking to myself back then, if this does work, I can just see how astronomical the market potential is, especially given today's fast aging population. Remember the growth trend I'm talking about that we all need to pay attention to. In fact, what I smelled back then was, Jesus, it was a multi-million-dollar global market. So like any good engineers, of course, I put Saligen to the test, not just on myself, but on my family and on my 80-year-old mom who lives on her own back in Malaysia. Now, this is my mom. Okay, she stays in Ipoh. Her name is Karen. Now, Saligen certainly made my mom, love her kid. Yeah, that's me with a capital K. Okay, just that much more. Okay. Now, what my siblings and I saw that, after she had started taking Saligen was that she actually started looking younger. I would say grown younger, especially over the last 4 years after she has taken Saligen. What we noticed that she has better vitality, better energy, but to enjoy all the things that she loves doing. She still can play her mahjong, she does her tai chi, at 83, she still drives a car and she loves traveling. I'm really grateful, to Saligen for really keeping my mom, at 84 years old, healthy and happy. Now, I'm more than happy to be able to provide her the quality of life for the rest of her, of her life. In fact, to all the children out there, I would say that Saligen is a priceless gift that all of us children can give to our parents. Now, let me introduce you to my good friend, Jermaine. Now, Jermaine is a TCM physician. Her late mother, at 92 years old of age then, was suffering from many degenerative illness. And of course, Jermaine, after learning about Saligen, started giving Saligen to her mom. Now, what she found was that it gave her mom much better quality of life till her passing late last year. Now, I am really grateful to have Jermaine as one of my business partners today. She is one of those few rare TCM physicians who practice what I would call integrative preventive care. She combines the best of the East with the West. Now, thanks to Jermaine, our network expanded into Cambodia. Now, let me introduce you to Daphne. Now, Daphne is a good friend of Jermaine for more than 15 years. In fact, they used to work together when Jermaine was still working as an accountant, in Cambodia. Now, Daphne now runs her own business in Cambodia for more than 10 years. And what happened is her daughter, Nicole, in her early 20s, suffered from chronic insomnia and some anxiety issues. Now, with the use of the Avita TCM Herbal Essential Oil and Saligen, her daughter Nicole, of course, resolved her insomnia and went back to her happy, bubbly self again. Okay, so that was what Saligen actually did for Daphne, and Daphne back then actually smelled the opportunity that Saligen has in a new country like Cambodia, right? Yeah. What is interesting now is that you might be wondering, okay, so at this juncture, how does Saligen fare in these new normals, especially last year? So this is where I kind of want to share with you. I'll digress a little bit. How did Saligen thrive in this new normal? Now, what's interesting was this, okay? Saligen, in fact, thrived in this challenging time, especially in year 2020, because of this one thing. Saligen has the ability to help your body boost the immune system. And we all know that truly one true defense you have against the virus, okay, despite all these vaccines and everything, is really building up in your body, a very strong immune system, which will protect you not just from the current, COVID-19, but also its many variants that will be evolving. I think many of you kind of realize that, So in one of the lab tests that was actually done in the China labs, because we were wanting to bring Saligen into China, was that during the lab test of over, a couple of hundred boxes, the lab test shows that, the Saligen has the ability to boost both the activity of what we call the macrophage and the NK cells, okay, to summarize it all, your immune cells in the body gets boosted with the presence of collagen. Now, so what has that turned into? In fact, we have a couple of interesting cases. This was very new. In fact, we just received this a couple of weeks ago. For many of you would know that COVID-19, has hit Philippines pretty badly. So many doctors, those who have come to know collagen, have started taking collagen, and they provide collagen to their loved ones because they realize that not only did it strengthen up the immune system, and even for those who were infected with the COVID-19 virus, they were also recovering quickly, it doesn't go into serious case. So in this particular case, like Judith, her sister actually contracted COVID, and collagen actually helped her to recover well. Okay, and this case was also very recent. This came from one of our friend, Ruby. This is actually Ruby's brother in New York, who actually contracted COVID. And then, a sister in Singapore, Ruby, upon hearing that, very urgently sent her 2 boxes. And then, this was the feedback from Christopher. Of course, he was feeling really bad from the COVID and all the after effects. And what happened is, his feedback was that, after taking collagen, it really helped him in, boosting his recovery. In fact, in a very short terms of time, he was back to his old self again. Okay, and then of course, this was one of our very early stories. If you all remember, Indonesia was also hit pretty badly with COVID. And this whole couple was actually on collagen for a number of years. So when they first was detected to have COVID, actually they, even though they were in a vulnerable age, the symptoms were very mild. In fact, the doctor chose to hold them in the home rather than even admit them to hospital, and says that, surprisingly, you are in very good condition despite the fact that you have tested positive. And of course, both the husband and wife recovered, and, they were now healthy. And so this is the reason why, collagen is thriving in the new normal, especially in many of these countries like Indonesia, Philippines, and so forth. In fact, even in Singapore, some of my doctor friends are actually using collagen to not just help themselves, but also their loved ones, because a lot of the frontliners are working very long hours, and that long hours has a way to depress your immune system. Okay, so let me just bring you back again to continue with my story. And this is how we went from Singapore to Cambodia. Now remember, Daphne, after having collagen help her, smelled the opportunity. She seized the Avita opportunity and brought it down to Cambodia. Now, this is where I truly learned about the power of what a network marketing business model can do. Now, mind you, number one is I do not know anyone in Cambodia. In fact, I have not even visited Cambodia yet. But thanks to the business model, I was able to expand very quickly into this beautiful country. And it's all thanks to these 2 wonderful lady partners of mine. Okay, of course, Jermaine, who actually knows Daphne, right? So now, how do I know Jermaine? Now, Jermaine, before she was a TCM physician, we were both adventurous. We knew each other for more than 20 years ago, and from the days when we were actively taking part in outdoor adventure. And then we reconnected again when Jermaine attended one of the Meridian 101 workshops. Now, she loved what we were doing, and despite she was a TCM physician, she actually sensed the power of these TCM oils to boost her business. So she decided to join me in the business. And of course, through her, I was connected to Daphne. I remember Daphne and Jermaine used to work together in Cambodia. Now, Daphne was a business owner and entrepreneur. If you remember, she runs her own company in Cambodia. Now, of course, after experiencing how all these oils help her daughters, right? Daphne brought these oils back to Cambodia. And of course, Daphne got trained up, we all together with Jermaine, we brought Meridian 101 into Cambodia. And from Cambodia, we intend to expand on to the rest of Indochina. In fact, this is a picture of Jermaine and Daphne, who were running their workshops, right? I'm so proud of that. In 2019, both of them conducted the first ever Meridian 101 workshop in Cambodia. Absolutely proud of these two ladies, okay? Now we had a big group of very enthusiastic mix of locals and expatriates. Now there are a lot of expatriates working in Phnom Penh, right? From PRC, from Malaysia now. Many of these have now joined us as partners in this wellness business and journey. Now, I just love my Cambodian team. Just seeing how committed they are in learning and applying what they learn. I am so motivated in supporting them. In fact, I am committed to work with my team and partners in Cambodia and let Avita create a better life and a better world for all of them. Now, let me just share with you why I love this business so much. This is Lei. Lei is a Cambodian lady and Lei is a friend of Daphne. Now, unfortunately, in August 2019, she was diagnosed with Bell palsy. Now, Bell palsy is a health condition that actually left her facial muscles paralyzed. Now, Lei was really very depressed then. Daphne wanted very much to help her. And since it was the facial muscles that was affected, Daphne decided to teach Lei how to perform facial gua sha using the Avita TCM oils. And Lei began to do it every day. And this was Lei on the 7th day. She can actually start to feel, sensation returning to her face. And 20 days later, Lei found that she can now control her facial muscles. Now, Lei is so happy and she's now joined Daphne as one of her business partners in Cambodia, targeting the locals and the Cambodian market there. Now, today, we have a growing base of happy customers in Cambodia. Now, we are also attracting many potential business partners there, and we really look forward to expand into the rest of Indochina in the coming years. Especially when the COVID is over, we can fly in, we're going to help them to grow the business even bigger. Now, it is stories like this that reinforces to me why this business is so meaningful. Now, not only do I have the opportunity to help bring good health to those who need it, I am also able to partner with various people to help them develop a business of their own to bring them wealth and raise them to another level. Now, let me introduce you to another friend of ours. This is Florabelle. Now, Florabelle works in Cambodia, and Florabelle is also a friend of Daphne. Now, Florabelle attended the Meridian 101 workshop in Cambodia, and she is currently back in Philippines. And because of that, our network business started growing into the Philippines. Now, meet the pretty lady right in the center. That cute teenage lady is 11 years old. Her name is Eva. Now, Eva became very conscious of acne, teenage years, hormonal changes. She has used many types of cream and medication, and none of it helped very much until Florabelle decided to teach her how to use forsythia oil. She applied it to her acne 2 to 3 times daily. The acne dried very quickly and heals with no scar. And because of that, Eva is now more confident of herself. I believe just you introduce to the girl on your right, the really cute one, that is Francesca. Now, during the lockdown in the Philippines, Francesca had a very high fever and a painful stomach. Now, it was very challenging to visit a doctor because of the lockdown. And the mom was desperate, okay? But, knowing that, she learned some skills from Florabelle, she applied an Avita oil mix on the chest of the daughter, her stomach and her back. Now, and then if you apply the magnolia on the correct points at the back of the head, you're able to reduce the temperature. That's what we actually teach in our workshop, right? After just 1 hour, her temperature reduced from roughly got 1 degree down from 38.5 to 37.5, and it subsequently became normal. Now, her stomach pain also subsided. And since then, whenever she feels uncomfortable, she will automatically reach for the Avita oils. Now, these stories I've told really just highlight to you how this business can travel across border very seamlessly. Now, even with Florabelle back in Philippines, she can still put her skills and knowledge to good use, and attract many other partners to work together with her. In fact, we worked very closely together and grew a team of competent partners in Cambodia, Philippines, and Norway. Okay, today we have a growing base of customers in these countries. Okay. Now, we really look forward to expanding into many other countries in the coming years. So you will realize by now it's unlike a conventional business. We expand our Avita business through what we call a word of mouth marketing. We promote through social media and by connecting from one friend to another friend to another friend to another friend. In fact, through this, we continue to build a never-ending global business network. Now, what is interesting down here, take note. We do not pay any rental. I do not pay any salary. In fact, we do not pay any salary, right? But and then we have the company who's supporting us with the infrastructure and administrative support, the logistics and the accounting. Now, certainly a business can't get more exciting than this. Now, what I love is that Avita is a Singapore company. Now, mind you, Singapore itself is a premium brand. Singapore companies have a reputation for trustworthiness and high integrity. Now, this has really been helpful for us in opening doors, especially when I expand my Avita business across Asia and the rest of the world. Now, I've always been curious, who is the visionary person behind Avita? So let me introduce you to Miss Li Xiangying. Okay, she is the founder and CEO of Avita. Now, all of us fondly call her Miss Li. Now, Miss Li had always inspired me with her motto, for a better life, for a better world. Now, it tells me a lot of what matters to her and the reason and the purpose she set up the Avita business. Now, but nothing really beats the personal and up-close experience I had with Miss Li. Now, in November 2017, I brought my mom on the Avita Voyager incentive trip to Taiwan. In fact, I brought her along on all the Voyager trips since then. That was the very first trip. Now, throughout the whole trip, Miss Li always took care to have a word with my mom, and ask after her welfare. Now, she showered this motherly love, okay, not just on the older folks that were. In fact, I realized that she took extra care to ensure not just my mom, but everyone else on that trip were well looked after. Now, that speaks very much of her character. In fact, in Avita, what I always cherished was, we are like one big happy family. In fact, I call Avita my second family. Now, that touched me greatly and remain in my mind even till today. Even my mom speaks fondly of it. Now, I've always believed a leader who cares is a leader we can all count on through thick or thin, good times or bad times. Now, having Miss Li at the helm of Avita, I am confident Avita is the place where I will make my first millions and many more after that. In fact, Avita is like family to me. Now, personally, I am an outdoor person. I love traveling. Now, I would love to have an international family in my network. And Avita certainly gives me that chance. Now, with 14 countries and still growing, okay, this in fact is my opportunity to grow a global Avita network franchise. And we are looking at a market size of 2 billion. And all I have to do is to connect friends after friends after friends, share this amazing opportunity, and then work with them and support them to succeed in the business. Just like how Alvin and many of my senior associates here had been supporting me all these years. So let me just share with you how I got started in 2016, where I am now, and where I am headed to. Okay, now there are 7 ranks in the Avita business. Okay, now these first 3 ranks that you see down there, the VIP, SA stands for Silver Associate, and GA stands for Gold Associate. Okay, these are what we call the customers rank. Now, promotion from VIP to Silver to Gold, now that is automatic. It's just purely based on accumulated purchases. Now, what is important is the next 4 ranks. Okay, the next 4 ranks are what we call the business builder rank. They are the PD, the Platinum Director, the DP stands for Diamond President, PA stands for Pearl Ambassador, and CA stands for Crown Ambassador. Now, all these ranks are what we call business builders. And why do we call them that? All these builders, they are entitled to share in 1% of global sales. And that's why they are like unnamed shareholders in the company. Now, having like somebody who comes from the corporate, what excites me most when I saw this structure was this. I could relate the position of the Platinum Director rank to that of like a CEO of your own company with your own team of working partners. And then the Diamond President, as your network grows larger, the Diamond President is just like that of a country CEO, right? You have several countries under you. While the Pearl Ambassador is like that of a regional CEO. And of course, our highest rank, the Crown Ambassador, is like that of a global CEO. Now, of course, I wish to waste no time. Back then, once I decided that the business was right to build my network enterprise, I invested in the Gold Associate Business Startup rank, right? I mean, that was the rank that is closest to the first business builder rank of a Platinum Director. Now, more important, while holding down a full-time job, I work my Avita business with a full-time mentality, okay? So that's something I need to emphasize. The full-time mentality is important, right? So in a very short period of time, I got promoted to become a Platinum Director and achieve my first baby steps to be a CEO of my own network. Now, I'm very excited to be working with really like-minded partners to help them achieve their own CEO dreams. And in fact, I'm very proud that this year, in end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, I actually helped to give birth to 2 Platinum Directors, right? And so that they are now little CEOs of their own company, right? So I believe that in helping them to achieve their CEO dream, this in turn will pave my way towards my goal to challenge for Diamond President come to the end of this year. So for those of you who are ready to embrace change, for those of you who wants to thrive in the new normal, for those of you who aspire to be CEO of your own global business network, I really invite you to get started as a GA today. Now, mind you, investing in a GA startup position is only the beginning. So what does it take to build up a successful Avita business? This to me is the key. You are backed up by what we call an Avita education system and very close upline mentoring. Now, despite having more than 3 decades of corporate and management experience, I have gained tremendously and grown so much from this Avita training. Now, what I realized the secret was this. This Avita education system is really the secret duplication weapon that will enable your network to grow very fast and very wide. Now, I see the potential of corporate executives who combine their years of corporate experience together with the Avita education system to become really a new breed of network business leaders in this new normal. Now, the COVID-19 hurricane may have wiped out millions of jobs and more will be gone post-COVID-19. However, I actually see the Avita education system as the new MBA that will offer the chance for today's corporate professionals to be transformed into the new entrepreneurs in the new normal. Now, personally, I'm very impressed with the comprehensive coverage of the Avita education system. Now, it covers both individual and competency knowledge and skills, but yet it also covers team effectiveness, communication, and leadership skill. Now, I personally have been transformed. I've also witnessed many of my team members undergone metamorphosis. Now, from being a shy caterpillar to now a very confident, colorful butterfly. From I said cannot do to now a can-do attitude. Now, personally, I see Avita as much more than just a global business that will make me millions. I cherish Avita for surrounding me with like-minded, can-do, positive entrepreneurs who encourage each other on and lift each other to new, greater heights. In fact, I cherish Avita as my second family, a family that works hard together, have fun together, champion meaningful social projects together. We come together to co-create a better life, a better world. Now, I would like now to invite all the new friends here today to join us in a little breakout room where you can meet our leaders, ask more questions, and have a good, insightful discussion. I welcome you to get to know all of us. Now, you do not have to do anything. Just hang down there. This flight will automatically transport you to the breakout room. Okay. So, Tingy, are you ready
Yes,
to
in
transport
transition
everybody?
now. See you all
Okay.
later.
See you all later. Hey, do we have everybody back in the room yet? Yeah, I suppose so. Okay, welcome back everybody. I hope you enjoyed your session in the breakout room. Okay, and then have some value. Some of you have some valuable takeaways. So yeah, will anybody want to maybe volunteer somebody in the room to share their big takeaways? Something that strikes you from tonight's talk. We have a bit of time. So breakout room leader, maybe you would like to nominate somebody from your room who can share, some takeaways from their room so that everybody can learn from it. Do we have? Okay, I think it's kind of got muted.
Hello.
Hello. Yep. Okay, can hear you, Jumping.
Fami, is it okay if I invite you to join because you shared something that resonated with me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm okay.
Yeah. So Fami, why don't you share with the rest of the people, what you said in the room right now? I think a lot of people can identify with that. Come, Fami.
Yeah, sorry, you want to identify me, is it?
Yeah, why don't you share that portion where you say that you had some regrets,
Yeah,
I think that was
what
very
did you
interesting.
regret?
Yeah, what do you regret?
No, actually, I met Joy Khan in 2011.
Oh, okay.
Almost 10 years back. Yeah, same building. My Hitachi office in the same building, 9th floor. Avita is in the ground floor. Okay. So that time Joy Tan introduced me, and many section I attend the section in 2011. But unfortunately, I haven't take it seriously. Now I'm regretting. No, almost 10 years I wasted. So I think I say now I'm not jobless. So if I supposed to start in 2011, this time will be a good time to I can. Anyway, past is past. So I'm taking seriously to move further.
Yeah, so I guess for me, I think remember what I say, everything happens for a reason. There could be a reason. This is the time for you to, this is time for you to look at a new opportunity and go higher, go fly a new sky, right? Dance a new dance with us.
Yes.
And I really welcome you to come understand us much better this Saturday, understand what the whole business is all about. And yeah, I look forward to joining you and even supporting you in your success. Okay, good. Thank you, Fami. I think that that sharing actually resounds with many people too. Okay,
Thank
so
you,
let
Fami.
me thank you. Oops. Okay, my screen seems to freeze. Give me a moment. Let me just escape. I need to reshare my. Okay, now let me just introduce you to one of my great mentor, Richard. And I always remember what Richard says, okay? And this mantra has followed me, okay? Now, opportunity favors the bold, okay? If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity today, but you are not sure whether you can do it, say yes first, then learn how to do it later. So when Elvin first offered me the Avita opportunity in 2016, I said yes. I learned, I built and achieved my platinum directorship in 2017. And my yes has actually set me on the path to be the next Richard Branson. Right? So today, your friend who cares about you has offered you the Avita opportunity. Are you saying yes? Well, thank you and good night. Okay, I'll hand you back over to my lovely host, Veronica. Veronica, take it on.
Thank you, Kid. Wow. Thank you for your riveting stories. I always enjoy listening to your stories. My personal takeaway on this evening is to always look out for opportunities and not let adversities drag you down. So here in Avita, there's a business opportunity which I hope you all take advantage of. And how can you get it started? We would like you to join us this Saturday for our ELS. ELS is Entrepreneur Lead Seminar. LEAD stands for Learn, Evaluate, Act, Progress. So ELS is a powerful business seminar that can help many distributors to jumpstart their Avita network business. It aims to engage participants towards embarking on their entrepreneurial journey through a guided program that includes analyzing the business trends, business models, and business growth strategy. Know what you need to do to get your fully operational business up and running in no time. So take a leap and join us for the ELS this Saturday. So speak with your friend who invited you to this evening's talk, and they will be able to point you in the right direction on how to register. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us this evening, and perhaps we would like to do a photo shoot to show which we like to do all at the end of each talk. So now let's see, would someone be able to help take the photo? Everyone put on your heart emoji, show your love.
Okay, hang on for a while. Let me just show the flyer. So for those who want to take a photo of the LEAP seminar. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can just take a quick photo of it, and then yeah, more than welcome to join us on Saturday. Okay, if everyone has taken a look, no worries. You know, if you want a copy of it, just ask whoever has invited you. We'll send you a copy, and then let's go to the photo taking. Okay.
Okay. So is Chong Ping able to help with the photo shoot?
Yep, sure.
So everyone show your love for our speaker this evening.
All right,
Put on your
ready?
heart.
Count 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I got everybody.
Yay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening, and we'll see you on Saturday.
I'll see you on Saturday.